Hi everybody, this is Jo, and I've been drawn to create a video about twin flames today. In particular, twin flame signs and synchronicities. Twin flames are, in my opinion, a huge part of this shift into 5D, this ascension project for the planet. And the way that I see them, it's like twin flames are the pillars which are supporting and creating the foundation for New Earth, for creating this new physical reality based on 5D consciousness. I know I've talked about them before in webinars and in posts in my group, so some of this may be repeated, but I am drawn to talk about it now, so I'm just going to go with the flow. So twin flames or twin souls, there's a lot of controversy about them. What I would say is don't believe everything that you read. Take what resonates for you. From my own perspective, there is a lot of fear-based stuff out there, which for me is kind of been a bit misleading for me on my journey. I believe that I am a twin flame, and I've been following this path since the twin flame path since 2007, before my awakening. I didn't meet my twin flame until 10 years after that. I didn't really properly awaken until 2012. So kind of when I started looking at all of this stuff, I wasn't as aware of what's truth and what's not, so I would urge you to try to tune into your intuition whenever you hear or read anything about twin flames, and take what resonates. And if it brings up fear in you, then perhaps it's not the right thing for you to be reading or believing. So my understanding and my experience of what twin flames are: there are many star beings who have come down to planet Earth to help with this ascension project. Not everybody down here on planet Earth is a star being. From my belief and my experience, twin flames are all star beings, but not all star beings are twin flames. Not everybody has a twin flame. Twin flames are very old and experienced souls who are pretty powerful as well. Star beings in general are very powerful because they're very aware of their soul gifts, and they perhaps also come from kind of more advanced star systems than the people who are native to planet Earth. And so twin souls or twin flames, whatever you want to call them, is basically one soul which has chosen to incarnate into two physical bodies to kind of have double the impact in a way. The way that I understand it is that because of the power of that soul, I don't want to sound like I'm being big-headed, this is just what I understand and have experienced. So I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm really powerful. That's not me at all. I'm talking about it quite objectively. Twin flames or twin souls are one soul, a very powerful soul, who, given the density of this planet, if they tried to incarnate in that full power as one, I don't believe it would ever work, because it would be too dense for it to work. And so they kind of come down into two bodies. That's not to say it's one half of one soul and the other half of a soul in each body. That's not my understanding of how it works. Energy is everywhere all the time. So anyway, I digress. And so they come here in these two separate bodies to do kind of twice the amount of work, to have twice as much effect, to help twice as much down here. And as I've talked about before, star beings come and they've decided beforehand, right, well, I'm going to take this 3D stuff, you take that 3D stuff, I get rid of this, you get rid of that, and together we have all managed to kind of have all of this 3D stuff covered so we can get rid of all of it, so that we can create this ascension into 5D and free up this planet from the density of 3D. And so twin flames do the same thing, but they kind of work more closely with each other, even if it's totally possible that one's in a body and one is up kind of guiding in the ether as a guide. And that's how I met my twin flame first. They can be both in physical bodies who are together in the physical, or they can be in two physical bodies, separate sides of the planet, never met each other, but they're still at a soul level always working together. So that's a little bit of my understanding about what twin flames are, and I'm being told to stop jabbering on now and to start talking about what they want to talk about. So twin flame signs and synchronicities. There are a lot of people, if you look out like on forums, on Facebook, on the internet, there are a lot of people who are into the whole romantic idea about what twin flames are. That's not the point of twin flames at all. Twin flames are here to serve a very spiritual purpose, as I've mentioned. And so a lot of people think that they're twin flames, or they want their twin flame, and they come from a very 3D kind of needy point of view, and they're probably not twin flames. So things to look out for if you think that you could be a twin flame and you're not sure. This is what I'm supposed to be talking about here now today. First of all, I have to say this is my experience, what I know, what I have experienced, but what I experienced might not be the same as you, but it might give you some kind of guidelines about kind of what to expect. Because I totally believe that there are some people out there who may think that they are twin flames and they are not, and they share their information and people are reading it and kind of being a bit misled. So this is why I say to kind of take what resonates and leave the rest. So for me, when I first heard the phrase twin flames back in 2007, I had never heard of it before. I was not what you would call spiritual. I had always been interested in tarot cards, oracle readings, astrology, aromatherapy, reflexology, crystals, rune stones, dreams. I had books about this kind of stuff and I would read them. I'd play with the cards and stuff myself, but that was kind of as far as it went, really. It was like a passing interest, a passing interest really, that I was into, but I had nobody around me to kind of show me, or nobody in my family or in my wider circle were really interested or really knew much about this kind of stuff at the time. So I don't know where it came from. It kind of came from within me. So I was always aware of this kind of stuff, but never really knew about it. Never really had a big understanding about it. Then in 2007, I had this reading from this lady. And she said this phrase, twin flames. And she was like, I've never heard of it, don't know anything about it. And the second I heard it, it was like, okay, what's that all about? What's that? So it had triggered something within me, and that was kind of it. That was it then. I wanted to know. It was a compulsion, and I didn't know where it came from. It wasn't a logical thing, it was like a feeling. I need to know more. And that reading from that lady totally changed my life and has put me on the path that I have been on since then. At the time, there was no information out there about twin flames, really, until I found one lady who I still follow now, who I believe is a true twin flame. So from that, what I want you to know is you will know. If you're in any doubt, then you're probably not one. Knowing in that intuitive sense is not the same as, oh, I really want to be. It's not the same thing. When we really, really want something like that, when we need something like that, we're coming from a 3D place, and twin flames is not about a 3D connection at all. If you try and approach a twin flame relationship in a 3D way, it will not work, because the twin flame kind of experience project is all about that 5D connection. We have come here as twin flames not to have a romantic relationship. Yeah, you might have one at the end of, you might have one, but that's not the point of it at all. The whole point of twin flames is to bring that 5D consciousness, that 5D energy, and manifest it in the physical, in whichever way your soul sees fit for the plan. So it's a knowing. You just know. Yes, you might see number synchronizations. A lot of people talk about 1111 for twin flames, but 1111 is very common for the spiritual path in general. And you may notice other combinations of numbers that feel more relevant to you. So for me, my twin flame number is 222. Or any like any number of twos. Could be 22, 222, 2222. That's our number. So whatever resonates with you, you kind of have to piece the information together, because that's what I've been doing for the last 12 years or so, is piecing together the information and creating a larger picture of all the fragmented information. Other signs that you can get about being on the twin flame path is having dreams about them, about this kind of mystery person. Perhaps, it depends on which way around your journey goes. Sometimes people meet their twin flame first and then they go through the awakening. It wasn't the way that it happened for me. I had all the awakening and all that stuff, and then met them in the physical after 10 years. So dreams about this person, and you can feel the intense connection with that person. And again, it's totally different to anything you have ever experienced in the physical before. It's that deep knowing. Quite often we can have we can experience an intense connection with a soulmate, or with what they call a karmic partner who's come to teach us lessons in maybe a harsher way than a soulmate might. Soulmate is a bit more harmonious. But the connection is totally different, and it's only really when you experience the differences that you can tell which one's which. And so there might be a lot of kind of stuff that you need to experience before you can decide once and for all, am I a twin flame? Is this person my twin flame? Am I on the twin flame journey? The twin flame journey, in my opinion, will always include this ascension where you wake up to your spiritual gifts, you wake up to the truth of your soul, of who you are and why you've come here, and you'll feel the need to be on your spiritual path. It'll be like a compulsion to do it. So those are the signs and synchronicities about knowing whether you're on this twin flame path journey or not. Just thinking if there's anything else that I want to add, because I feel like I've missed something out. Okay, I'm being told right now that I'm going to be doing a webinar about twin flames again. I've done them before, but I'm being prompted to do them again and to put it out there again, so watch out for the link for that below again. Something else that they've just been they've just given me now with regards to number synchronicities. 144 or 4 and 1 combinations have been very important to me on my twin flame journey. I believe that that's to do with the 5D energy and ascension as well, but they've just told me to mention it, so it might resonate with somebody out there that the 144 or 1441 combinations of number synchronicities that you might see, that can signify that you're on your twin flame journey, and that's, you know, what's going on for you. Okay, and now they're asking me to talk about what happened after I met my twin flame in the physical. So all I can tell you is what my experience is. It's not going to be the same for everybody. When I met my twin flame, I didn't know that he was my twin flame. I'm very switched on, kind of spiritually. I feel I'm very good at reading people, reading the energy of people. And I was kind of a bit nosy, a bit curious maybe, but for me there was none of this, oh my god, I've met my twin flame. And you see that a lot out there where people go, oh my god, the second I knew them, I knew they were my twin flame. For me, I've kind of done that in the past, and it's always turned out that they're not. They're like a karmic partner or something. And so that's been my experience. If you've got this, oh my god, they're my twin flame, immediate reaction, I would say probably from my own experience, it's not your twin flame. It's not. Mine was like, don't know about you. I want to know more, but don't know. A little bit indifferent, to be honest. Then as I got to know him, it was that total kind of, oh, I didn't want to talk about this, and they're making me, I'll get them later. It was this blissful kind of heaven on earth experience that you have never ever felt before. And I had experienced it before in a dream with like this mystery person that I had never met, couldn't even see their face, but I could feel it. And it's the feeling that you get with it that's what's different. There is nothing that can tell you outside of yourself. No amount of number synchronicities, no tarot reader, energy reader can tell you definitively. You have to decide and know from within yourself. So it's all about the energy. Yes, this person may well embody the qualities that you've always been looking for in a person, but they may also embody some of the ones that you totally did not expect. Like my twin flame really was very quite, I called him a muggle. Seemingly very normal, very kind of matrix and yeah, grounded, shall we say. So that, you know, they could be very, very similar to you. They could be exactly what you wanted, but also at the same time, they could totally not be as well. Okay. With the twin flame journey, you very quickly, and again, this is my experience, yours might not be the same. You very quickly start to run into issues. Having experienced karmic relationships before, it feels very different. The energy feels very different. It kind of helps to know a little bit about how 3D and 5D feels, to know the difference between whether it's a karmic or whether it's a genuine twin flame. Very often you'll get a karmic who comes to teach you a really important lesson, and it can be quite an explosive, intense and short-lived thing before you meet your twin flame, and you think that you're your twin flame, and then all of a sudden, no, definitely not. So the 3D to 5D thing is the kind of vital difference, because a karmic can feel very familiar in like a 3D way. So there will, it'll follow the 3D dynamic where there's like a control or manipulation type thing, or maybe even somebody wants somebody to conform in some way. Whereas with the twin flame thing, it's not like that. And you try to put those 3D rules onto it and it's just not happening. I don't know if I'm explaining that well enough. And this is why I didn't want to talk about it, but they're making me. And so the 5D way of doing things is all about unconditional love. So you have to love them regardless. That's not to say that you put up with any crap at all. You love them regardless. You love them unconditionally, and you love them even if you know you can't be together. Even if you know it's not working, you love them anyway. The reason that it's not working is because of the 3D energy that blocks your connection. And so it can be a very confusing time. Whereas with a karmic, as soon as the issues start, you can feel that, this just isn't right. You can feel that it just isn't right. Whereas with the twin flame thing, you totally know that it's right. But the confusion is like you kind of butting heads in terms of stuff's coming up to get in the way. It's like obstacles, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, circumstances get in the way. And it's because that energy has to be cleared before you can come together. The 3D energy has to be cleared because it's a 5D connection. And we're here to manifest the 5D connection in the physical. We are not here to perpetuate the patterns of the 3D, where the power is off balance, where people are not in their full power, where people, in order to get love, they feel like they have to sacrifice something of themselves. That's a very common 3D pattern. If I just do this, then they'll love me. That's not the way that the twin flame thing works. There is so much that I could go into in this, and I'm not even going to attempt it because there's just so much of it. But hopefully that gives you a taste of it. If you are wanting to know more, then I would recommend that you have a look at the webinar that's coming, where I'm sure that they will tell me what I'm going to do closer to the time, and you'll be able to ask me any questions that you've got about what I've said already. Perhaps there is something that's still niggling that I need to say about twin flames, and that's that it's not always a male-female like physical body connection. It may not be a romantic relationship connection. It could be friends, it could be within a family, and they do not have to be together in the physical to create the change that they have come here to create. It's about the mission. The mission is always the most important thing. The physical reality is not. Your soul will tell you what is right for you, what your path is meant to be. And so the twin flame journey, from my belief, is getting to know yourself, trusting your intuition, getting to know what your soul wants you to do, clearing everything which blocks your intuition, clearing everything which blocks your soul, releasing all those faulty, crappy patterns that humans have, to allow unconditional love to flow, to allow that 5D consciousness to flow, so that we can create a physical reality based upon that. And so this is all about healing yourself, trusting yourself, and doing what your soul has come here to do. It's a massive topic, and as I say, there's lots of misinformation out there, but hopefully that's given you some idea about my experience, where I've been, and the information that I have received as a result of my journey. For me, the twin flame path has been very, very, well, it's like one and the same. It's the healing, the purging, the awakening, becoming aware of my soul. It is totally one and the same thing for me. It's not a spiritual awakening and a twin flame journey. It's all one. Hearing that word twin flames was my trigger into action to get onto my spiritual path. The dreams and the knowings all happened before I awoke. So there was like 5 years between kind of awakening to my spiritual gifts and from hearing the word twin flames. But that 5 years was a lot of healing for me, and healing in terms of going for counselling, sorting out mental and emotional things, issues from childhood, issues from my family of origin, healing them in quite kind of human ways. And for me, that was the start of my awakening, clearing all of this stuff to actually find who I am. And from my experience, that's what twin flames are all about. That's what they do. They come into these really dense situations so that they can have the most effect. But there's a lot of clearing and healing that they need to do to get there. And I think this is why a lot of people meet their twin flames and their twin flames just kind of disappear out of their lives pretty much after like an intense beginning, because there's so much work that needs to be done before they can even kind of be in the same room to stand each other's energy again. So no doubt you will be on, any point of that whole spectrum to do with twin flames, to do with your ascension path, to do with your shift, to do with your healing. It doesn't really matter where you're at, because the whole thing is all about getting back to you anyway. Okay, I am going to stop it there because this is quite a long video now. I hope that's been useful and interesting. I feel like it's been really jumbled, but I've just been following what they wanted me to tell you. And as I say, they've told me now, you're the first to know that there will be another twin flame webinar, so look out for the link below there. So until the next time, I'll see you again.